Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven JavaScript video. I'm recording this on August 28th, 2012, picking up a few hours after my last recording. So when we left off, we had finished off getting our server pretty much done. Now it's still a very basic server and there's probably some issues with it, but it pretty much works. So I'm happy with that. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to get this code online. Now, previously in the last episode, I had made a story for a standalone server. I actually think that the standalone server is a detail. It's not something that would be a user story. As a reminder, a user story is something that the business-oriented folks in your organization are going to care about. And they'll care about a standalone server, but it's really more of an engineering task. What they really care about is getting this puppy out on the internet. And they are going to care about writing the marketing copy to put on the internet too. That is the actual presence, your homepage for the internet. And I'm not going to do this online. Actually, I encourage you. I'm going to, at some point while we're doing this publish to internet story, I'll create a placeholder for this marketing copy. And then I would love for you guys who are watching this to submit your own marketing copy for us to put up on the WeWikiPaint website. This is real. It's actually going to be online. So please, please send me some stuff. So what we're looking for at this point is 2 pages, a single page homepage that talks about what WeWikiPaint is and sells it, and a 404 page that does the same. And because this is single page, what we're looking for is text only, no pictures or anything like that. That is our minimum viable product with one minimally marketable feature. So let's finish this off. Let's actually publish the internet. Now, of course, because this is Let's Code test-driven JavaScript, we're not just going to upload it. What we're going to do is we're going to test that it works. We're going to we're going to write a script to automate the upload. We might even write a script to automate the creation of the actual machine that it's running on. There's all kinds of good stuff to do there, and yet I don't want to spend the next 20 episodes on it. So we'll try to find a balance there. So first though, marketing copy, I'm actually going to leave it here for you guys to send me. And if you don't, then I'll put up my own crappy stuff. So we are on the publish to internet story. And what I'd like to do is write a smoke test for this. And we wrote some pseudocode for this right at the end of the last episode. What we need to do is we need to launch the server, actually, try to retrieve a page and then confirm that it worked. So now, since this is a smoke test, well, let's start. I think we can use our same test infrastructure to make this all run. So let's go ahead, just for convenience sake, let's grab this. We're going to delete, well, everything. This actually we might want to keep, but we've got some duplication here. And to start with, let's just see if we can get this to fail. And I don't remember what the fail doesn't seem to work with node unit. So let's try that. Okay. And all right, we'll just comment this out. Well, we'll delete it entirely. We can always go get it there. All right, that didn't fail like it was supposed to. And the reason for that, I was kind of expecting this to happen. Way back when we first put this code in, at that point in time, there was the version of Jake that was out in the wild didn't support file list properly. And since then, I submitted bug, and the person who maintains Jake fixed it. Thank you very much. And now we can use Jake. So we're going to modify this to use a file list. So we'll look for all files that start with an underscore and end with underscore test, and pass those into our runner. And that should run everything. There it is. We're successfully testing for smoke. Okay. Okay, so all right, so we want to launch the server. Now, this is test-driven. The interesting thing about TDD is it's not just for unit tests, although people often think of it that way. You can test drive anything, including full production system startups like we're about to do here. What we just have to say, well, how do we want this to start? So what we're going to do is we'll want to launch a process. So, and we'll launch that process. So this is where we decide, and that's what makes this test driven, that we're going to decide how we want the process to launch. So I'm thinking that we are going to want to launch the process by running a command line called, I don't know, serve, or no, let's call it WeWikiPaint. So we'll just run WeWikiPaint, and let's pass in just the same stuff that we pass in for server.start. So we're going to want to give it the file name, the home page, the 404 page, and the port, like that. That's how I think we're going to want to do this. So we're going to need a function that does that. This is still basically pseudocode. All right, so we'll run the process. I guess let's go ahead and write that code now. So we need to figure out how to launch a process in Node. Now we know how to do it in Jake, but unfortunately we've got this. So we've got this shell command, which is pretty much what we need, but that's Jake exclusive. I suppose we could just require Jake. But let's take a, yeah, let's, I'm torn between using the Jake stuff, which I don't know how much that depends on actually being run as part of the Jake file, and just using the basic Node stuff. I kind of would rather use the basic Node stuff because it seems like it would be better supported long term. Let's just take a quick look and see if there's anything particularly difficult about that. So I looked into it, and it looks like childProcess.exec is what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and require that. And that takes a callback, which I think we'll just want to pass through. In fact, that is pretty straightforward. And of course, we'll have to start that with Node. Now this should fail. Yeah. That callback takes 3 parameters: err, standard out, standard error. And we're going to want to assert that error is null, or actually, yeah, I think if error is not null, we'll want to just throw it. It's an error object. And that should give us our failure. Yeah, there it is. And of course, this test.done has to happen here. There, perfect. Command failed. It doesn't say why, but presumably it's because we don't have WeWikiPaint. Let's see. Let's actually log standard out and standard error in this case. That should give us, there we go. Can't find WeWikiPaint. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how we're going to start this guy, is we're going to run node WeWikiPaint homepage.html. You know what? Even that's a little, well, yeah, I think that's what we need to do, because on the server, on the production server, we're going to be serving it a little differently. We're going to pass in port 80. Well, you know what? Let's just pass in the port. The rest of it doesn't need to be configured, so we'll just pass in the port. Now this is still going to complain that WeWikiPaint can't be found, and that's okay. So, and that should be what we would see if we just run this on the command line. Yeah, perfect. So now now we've got this. Now we need to actually make this thing go. The next thing we need to do is actually make a WeWikiPaint module and then have that run in the right place. That's what we will do next time. We're getting closer and closer to having this thing actually run. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.